Hello and welcome to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. It's Wednesday, June 23rd, 2021. That's right, guys. We made it through another spectacular sell-off in the markets yesterday, followed by, well, an even more interesting, more awe-inspiring pump off the bottom. It got gobbled up pretty hard. Anybody who panic sold the bottoms probably feeling pretty uncomfortable right now, and of course you can imagine after holding strong throughout much of the dip, much of the price action of the last month or so that's teased the lower 30s. That one more good dip sub 30 might have had people throwing in the towel. Traders around the world frustrated with the price action. Seemingly everything was coming crashing down yesterday. China FUD, regulatory FUD, everything kind of accumulating all at once, probably causing some people to make the wrong trading decision, very likely selling close to the bottom, or at least shorting, potentially taking some leverage short, looking to short Bitcoin into the ground. Boy, did this price action probably trip up a lot of people out there. So we're going to be covering all that and more in today's episode of the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Of course, I've got two of our analysts here today. Yeah, I think even Alex is kicking it with us today. Alex, of course, on the move. And he might be in and out throughout the course of the show, but at the moment, he's here to say a very good afternoon. So, Alex, welcome aboard.
A very good afternoon.
All right. There he is. And, of course, we got Jason in the background as well. Jason, how you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing well.
How's the price action?
Well, in terms of the price action, I mean, it's kind of what we were talking about yesterday. Like after that pop off the bottom, we ended up closing the daily on that bullish engulfing candle. It does appear that we are still getting some kind of support here. That's going to kind of play itself out throughout the day. Got ourselves into a 4-hour position. It took about 4 candles to get there, but finally got the baseline dip that we wanted at about 33,450. Currently in a little bit of profit here. So now we're just kind of waiting and looking at like the 75 hole. Today might be the day I have to close out my hedge as well. So it's exciting stuff.
Yeah, speaking of closing out the hedge, let's take a look here.
My best hedge ever.
Yeah, I bet it. Yeah, I bet it was, and probably the envy of anybody hodling that didn't hedge. Indeed, you definitely nailed it this time. A lot of the calls we've been making, whether in the premium or just roughly on the show, I gotta say, I feel like our analysts have kind of nailed some of the overall price action. The calls have been on point, guys. I'll give you that.
It'd be real sweet if we called that Jericho if it does happen, but that's of course.
Well, I mean, you called something of a Jericho in the sense that I mean, I'm going to do a measure move off the yesterday's bottom, but yesterday's bottom we bounced.
Instead of just saying Jericho over and over, perhaps we should say big reversal candle so the audience understands.
Yeah,
large reversal candle / Jericho.
But with that said, I just did a measured move off the bottom. It pumped over 20% off the bottom. Anybody, over leveraged shorting the bottom probably got absolutely smoked.
And we were looking at that on the hourly because it was the first 2 hourly candles off the bottom that I started looking at. And we can get into this, of course, off of the in the analysis. But yeah, right off the bottom, we just got some very good buyback. So I mean, we will see.
Yeah, speaking of, like I said, closing your short, here's Minx on today's candle signaling for a take profit short. Of course,
I think most importantly, we're almost back above the daily baseline, and that'll be a very important crossover if that happens.
Absolutely.
Yes, if we zoom in right now, you can see. You can see on the CC baseline indicator, guys, we're right above the baseline right now. Still in the Keltner channel.
You see fake outs where it's like we cross below and it's like, oh no, then we cross back above it. But you don't see cross below and then cross back above and then cross below again. That really happens. So if we crossed back above the daily baseline here, I think that'd be really good.
I would think that would be the bullish momentum has been taken back.
Yeah, but we have to close it. We can't just right now we're just hanging around in there, and that doesn't count yet for me.
Now we're just flirting with disaster.
Yeah, this one's tough to read, but something tells me we might just crawl up here because I do think that that's going to be cause maximum pain, maximum suffering to a lot of market participants who, like I said, very well might have been piled into the wrong side of the market. This was, for the strong-willed among us who, held on during this dip here, the big meltdown here in May. Another giant dip here. It's possible on this third one over here on the 8th of June. It's possible that people held on very strong through here, and all it took was this fourth tumble yesterday for have people throwing in the towel, and of course this final moment of capitulation. Of course, if this turns out to V-bottom from here, could have been enough to shake out the last few people, and up we go. I mean, how much more selling is left in the tank after these 4 wicks to the bottom? Me, perma bull, so I choose to look at this with bullish colored glasses. and I see this
What is
as
that?
good
Green?
springing behavior. What's that?
Yeah. What color are bullish
I was about to
lenses? Are
ask,
they?
is that more like a maroon or?
Yeah. Is it a green? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Definitely a shade of somewhere in the green. Yep.
Shade of gains.
So it's not like a mauve. Or...
All right. There's a quick look, of course, of the recapping some of the BTC price action. Let's see how Ethereum fared. Yeah, still a ways to go from the baseline. A lot of negative momentum still building, and the Minx indicator still more or less bottomed out. Ethereum not looking as good, I have to say. How much of a pump did we see off the bottom yesterday? Yes, pretty similar. Delta to Bitcoin's bottom pump, 20% move off the bottom. So pretty much things are moving.
It's going to be another day of a lot of the charts looking the same.
Sure feels like it already.
Yeah, for sure. So it's going to be a lot similar to yesterday, but it is good to see 2 days in a row of this build to the upside, which would support the narrative of that pump on the death cross. But
yeah, XRP looking very similar to Ethereum. Its measured move top to bottom yesterday was about 30%, so even more volatility present over on something like XRP. Polkadot, yeah, looking a lot like Ethereum. Here's a look at Kusama, same deal. Curious. Here's a look at Doge. Monstrous move to the downside, followed by, holy crap, that was a 54% move from the bottom following yesterday's dip. How low did we get? Yeah, we got to about 16 cents. Incredible pump, 50% off of that. Never a dull day in crypto. The volatility is absolutely eye-popping. Popping is what I meant to say. All right, let's see here. Sheeb, Jason, when are we going to throw down on Sheeb? Was this it?
we got it.
Yeah.
It was funny that I was going to say to you yesterday, maybe we take a stab at it, but I want to keep looking at it.
Yeah, we'll keep looking at it. We'll strike when the moment is right. But
the iron's hot.
You know, we missed a lot of laughs during this last bull run by not having any exposure to Doge. I figure maybe we can partake in a little bit of Sheeb.
That's what you were looking for. You were just looking for laughs.
Well,
Yeah.
sometimes
Game.
we we do need something to kind of lighten the atmosphere. Yeah, some comic relief here on the show. It might not be in the form of Doge. Yeah, losing money might be one way to kind of garner a few laughs around here. But there's a quick look at Sheeb. What's gold up to? Take profit short. Setting up on gold today. Gold finally hit its bottom, 1700-ish. I guess we'll keep an eye on that. I'll just save further analysis here. What's Dixie doing? Is Dixie finally topped? Did see a high of 92-ish.
That's right where I said that I thought it would top out, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, you certainly did, but is this going to continue from here, or was this the end of the Dixie surge following the FOMC meeting and announcement last week? About what I figured, give it a week for the news to blow over, and we're right back to business as usual in the markets. But at the moment, yes, maybe maximum effect from the Fed announcement has already been seen. And quick look at Tesla. Damn, Tesla on a move today. Let's take a look. Yeah, up 3.5% today. Here's a quick look at the QQQ. Very curious to hear our analysts' thoughts. I will leave any further analysis to them. There's a quick scan of the price action, guys. Let's get into the next item here. Let's get into the poll, actually. Before I get into the bubbles, I'm going to get into the poll, then we'll quickly check in on bubbles. Speaking of the poll, let's bring it up now. If you guys scroll up in the live chat, I do think I dropped a link into the live chat for our community tab. Let's have a look. First, let's review yesterday's poll. I'm gonna bring this window down a touch. All right, here we go. All right, yesterday's poll, guys, just a little reminder. How low will Bitcoin go in the month of June over the course of this correction? Asked yesterday's poll. Responses were sub 20K Bitcoin in June. around 25K Bitcoin bottom in June, and finally this was the last dip. 28K is the bottom, at least for the month of June. This is, of course, relative to the month of June. The response is, looks like this was the last dip. A lot of bullish sentiment. 48% of our community respondents responded that 28K was the bottom. 30% think that we have just another small stab down, tap 25K in June as the potential bottom. Finally, 22% respondents think that no, this isn't over yet, even with just a few days left in this month. Yeah, a week, about a week to go in the month of June. 22% of respondents think that sub 20K Bitcoin is coming in June. Very quite the prognosis, but we will see. Let's take a look at today's poll, guys. I do appreciate everybody responding to that one yesterday. Let's have a look. Today's poll is the following, a very simple 2-response poll. Bitcoin's volatility leaves traders faked out. What do you think is going to come first? Yes, what's going to be the first price target we are going to reach? Will we rocket from here? Bitcoin will hit 42K before any further correction, is option 1. Option 2 is Bitcoin was going to dip to 28K again before a major rally. All right. So do you guys think, will we see 28K first? Or will we see something like 42K first? Are you feeling bullish today? Are you feeling bearish? Do let us know in the form of this poll. Me personally, the perma bull in me wants to think that this is indeed going to result in that Jericho condition we've been talking about since yesterday. I'm feeling cheeky, so I'm hitting this. Oh, damn, I have to log in. I'm currently looking at this as the admin. Well, if I could, I would be voting on the first option.
Yeah,
Let's refresh this window real quick, see if any. Yeah, we got 8 votes coming in since I refreshed. Yeah, put the thumbs up in here too. Let's have a look. Looks like Bitcoin will dip to 28K again. It's currently leading with the 8 votes. 63% of respondents are thinking Bitcoin's going to hit 28 before we get another major rally. All right, wait and see. Thank you to, of course, everyone participating in the polls. We'll get a bead on what goes on in this space. Thanks to that. Let's have a look. Let's get back into the bubbles, guys. We'll check in on the poll in a little bit. Let's bring this back up. Man, yep, a reversal in Bitcoin and seemingly a very sharp reversal in alts as well. Everything seems to track King Bitcoin. Doge up 22% based on the daily calculation over on Bubbles. One of the top gainers of the day, Doge. Yes, this doggy still has some legs apparently. LPT, what is LivePeer? I think I've heard of LivePeer before, but here it is, one of the top gainers of the day, up nearly 19%. You've got the likes of T-Fuel, Solana, BAT, PancakeSwap, SafeMoon, and quite a few more that are double-digit gainers. Yeah, GRT leading the pack as well, up nearly 16%. Filecoin nearly up 14%. Yeah, decent day in the alt space today. Quite a recovery. About what you'd expect given Bitcoin does, like I say, lead the move. But yeah, nearly double-digit gains across the alt space. Hope this little relief rally holds some people over. All right, there is your quick look at the bubbles, guys. Let's get into the next segment. Before I do, quick reminder, guys. Chest is going to get opened for the DLive users in about an hour, 20 minutes, I should say. And finally, Wednesdays is generally where we do the community mentorship sessions. These are generally scheduled for Wednesdays, 3 p.m. Eastern. Remind me, guys, today I think Alex is on the move, so we've canceled the mentorship session, right?
Yeah.
Is that correct? All right. So in that case, today's show is going to go the full 2 hours. I think Jason will be taking up the TA again today, so hope everybody enjoyed Jason's TA yesterday. Get ready for another round today. All right. All right, so we got a full 2 hours to work with, guys. We are not going to feel obligated to speed through anything like I usually do on the Wednesday, so this is good. This is good. Let's hop into what little news we have today. Let's just do a little of this. Perfect. All right. Major League Baseball has adopted FTX as the official crypto. This is coming from Crypto Briefing. Interesting. FTX, yeah, getting into more sports-related tie-ups. Let's have a look. Major League Baseball has announced its partnership with FTX. First ever sponsorship of a professional sports league by a crypto brand. The partnership will expose millions of MLB fans to the FTX platform in a 5-year deal. FTX patches will be placed on umpire uniforms in all games starting from mid-July. Additionally, the exchange attained group players' rights, allowing it to use player highlights in content creation. Soon MLB fans... Alright, soon MLB fans will be seeing FTX logos across all MLB affiliated websites and social media platforms. MLB has already tweeted a baseball stylized as a moon, a nod to the anticipated growth in crypto prices. Big things are coming, writes MLB in this tweet. Indeed, here's a baseball kind of superimposed over the moon. Man.
Didn't they put a stadium as well?
I do believe, in fact, this article will probably touch on that yeah, they tied a deal with the Miami Heat. Yep, here it is. More recently, back on the 4th of June, FTX entered into a long-term partnership with professional basketball team Miami Heat, securing the naming rights to their 19,000 fan capacity home stadium. Esports teams have been appearing in exchange sponsorship, blah blah blah. Yep. So apparently FTX is on somewhat of a global domination move, or at least here in America, looking to make major tie-ups to get that exposure they need. I guess they got some ground to make up on the likes of Coinbase, but FTX certainly isn't slacking, and I guess they got a generous surplus of bull market gains, trading all those trading fees going to go into high-profile sports sponsorships deals. How about that?
Well, I guess I'm happy to see an exchange spending all the ludicrous amounts of money they make on something visible. Unlike, BitMEX just puts it all in the liquidation fund.
I agree.
All right. Yeah, indeed. It is nice seeing this money go around. It's maybe I like the Bybit method. They put on the big giveaways. There's always that too. Profit sharing of sorts. Let's get into the next item here. What do we have next? Ethereum 2.0 merger spec finalized. That's right, guys. Ethereum 2.0 is coming ever closer, and apparently the developers have finalized. The community has finalized the specification for the full transition, the proof of stake, known as now the merger, according to a dev call yesterday. Tim Bako, the Ethereum 1.0 coordinator, said Ethereum 2.0, quote, now has proper specification on the consensus, aka Ethereum 2 side. He said the spec started as markdown files and gradually evolved into the current Python executable specification that might follow the same approach for ETH1, which usually relies on guidance with opcodes through core EIPs, blah blah blah, a bit technical, but the point here is that they've officially kind of hitting a more formalized final stage of the transition to the Ethereum 2.0, with some suggesting this merger might happen early next year. At that point, Ethereum will remove miners, which will no longer be receiving the $15,000 Ethereum a day after the merger, as Ethereum would run based on the amount staked. In addition, the first testnet for EIP 1559 launches tomorrow, with this upgrade burning the base fee while also doubling capacity. Further testnets are to follow as Ethereum developers seemingly start delivering code after years of work. Alright, will Ethereum 2.0 arrive kind of ahead of schedule, kind of on schedule, kind of behind schedule, depending on who you ask. I still anticipated the rollout of 2.0 to last a good number of years, but seemingly the 2.0 rollout is just kind of around the corner. It's possible by this time next year we will be talking about a substantial rollout in 2.0 and update to the network. Bullish news potentially for Ethereum. Start stacking your ethers, guys, not just picking up the Bitcoin sats on the dip. Let's have a look here. Here's an item from Bean Crypto. Bitmain halts sales of Bitcoin mining rigs following the China ban. Bitmain has announced its move to cease selling new Bitcoin mining rigs. The move is in response to China's recent crackdowns, causing the market to be flooded by second-hand equipment. During the hiatus, Bitmain will help miners find new homes in places like Texas and Kazakhstan. All right, something we largely touched on yesterday. Yeah, everybody seemingly coming to Texas for the mining, for the cowboy hats, for the pickup trucks. It's definitely the go-to. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. It'd be cool if we airlift entire Chinese mining towns and drop them in Texas. One of the world's largest Bitcoin mining rig manufacturers, Bitmain Technologies, has suspended the sales of their machines as clients free the market. Indeed, and of course some of this is being attributed to the glut of hardware out there in the space. I guess with all the surplus hardware, and there's also something else to be noted, that a lot of the hardware that's now being disassembled in China is not quite dated, unlike what we've seen in previous years, where the ASICs became kind of defunct within a number of months. We've really started to plateau in terms of ASIC hardware, how much power it has, and so basically even used hardware now competes more directly with their latest offerings, right? As the latest and greatest hardware starts to kind of offer diminishing gains, a lot of the kind of existing hardware, existing products on the market becomes almost equally attractive as to the latest and greatest flagship products from something like Bitmain. So yeah, I guess it makes sense with all the secondhand market now trading with such a surplus of mining rigs. I could see why Bitmain's feeling a little overwhelmed and even has to suspend sales of new equipment. There's just such a glut of high-end ASIC hardware entering the market and getting, I guess, reallocated to other mining farms around the world. All right, there's a quick update on that. Like I said, we're a little late on the news, so we've got the final news item right here. I'm going to bring that up in just a second, but I got to fix a little something that's bothering me here. All right, done and done. Let's get into this final piece here coming from the Block Crypto. SEC Commissioner Hester Peirce argues in favor of DeFi's promise of disintermediation. SEC Commissioner Peirce has long been the most outspoken crypto advocate over at the U.S. securities regulator. June 23rd interview as part of a virtual conference, Peirce noted her support for much of the work of decentralized finance, or DeFi, and argued against the enforcement-based approach that she had identified with the Commission's work on initial coin offerings. Quote, "I don't want it to be an enforcement-based approach. If we can provide clarity around certain issues with DeFi, that's something we should do. There are certain obvious things. If you're a decentralized platform that's actually centralized, then probably the securities laws are going to apply. Securities laws have had a complicated relationship with crypto, as U.S. regulators have long determined that the presence of a third party in control of an asset's value is part of defining the asset as a security. DeFi hopes to remove third parties in general from exchanges between parties. Many regulators find this sort of disintermediating concerning, as they depend on the presence of intermediaries who can file reports and, if worse comes to worse, stand trial. In the case of DeFi, a persistent cause of concern is the question of who to prosecute." Peirce sees this as a positive. Disintermediating, quote, "Disintermediating can be quite helpful for financial stability, adding also for ensuring easy access to financial services on the same terms, transparent terms. This is a positive thing." Pierce went on to note that ongoing legal attacks on big tech firms whose abuse of user data and even involvement in finances have led to antitrust investigations and lawsuits. Such firms are quintessential large counterparties to whom DeFi could provide a safer alternative. On other issues, Pierce was less transparent. When asked what it would take to greenlight a Bitcoin ETF, she said, "Simple answer, I don't know." When asked whether she had voted to launch enforcement action against Ripple over its sale of XRP, she said, "Nice try," citing commission rules that prevent her from answering until the SEC's case is over. Her general comments, however, were similarly opposed to the regulation by enforcement approach that many accuse the SEC of taking with crypto. All right, a little update from Hester Pierce. Apparently, yeah, she did make an appearance yesterday in front of, who was it precisely? Virtual conference with who exactly? Was this in front of Congress or some other body? Not sure, but nonetheless, I do like her take on DeFi. Yeah, imagine getting loans easier in the future, or at the very least for certain people. I'm sure some people get the red carpet treatment when they go into their local lender and get favorable terms, while the schmucks get left out in the cold. Imagine a more equitable future for basic banking functions that are transparent and yeah, less I don't know, fraught with corruption than what we currently have in the system. At least that's the aspiration that somebody like Hester Pierce can lobby with in front of whatever commission she was talking to. All right, guys, there's a quick look at the news today. Let's get into the next segment, and that's of course shouting out the audience. See what's going on over in the live chat territory. Let's go. Alright, gonna bring down the chat window a little bit, see who is here first in the live chat this afternoon. Alright, Ron Legato. Shoutouts to Ron Legato in the live chat today. You're first. Torrent on YouTube writes salutations. Well, shoutouts to you, Mr. Torrent, as well. Daniel's with us on YouTube. Electric is here as well. Taz Blitz writing, evening guys. Shoutouts to you. Let's see here. Ron Legato with a $10 super chat. Very nice. Thank you, Mr. Ron Legato. Very generous $10 super chat. Can't thank you enough. He says the D-Live chat ban hammer tip. Okay. Is this...
I don't know what that means.
Alex, any ideas what this means?
No, I don't. That's what I'm asking.
Oh, well, I think it has something to do with me banning all the bad actors from the D-Live yesterday. This is maybe $10 to upgrade the ban hammer. Well, I do appreciate Ron Legato. We will certainly use the $10 accordingly, potentially on some sheep. Let's have a look here. Nice bullish divergence, says Jason. We'll get into all that very shortly. Light Ally over on D-Live. FTX is adopted by MLB. Very interesting. Yes, it is certainly a high profile.
It's not like it's adopted. It's they're paying them so they can market themselves, right?
Exactly, but still a high-profile tie-up.
Yeah, it's a good move.
You gotta love it. Lots of apple pie eating American baseball watching normies gonna get exposure to the FTX platform on the field this summer. Or whenever it's baseball season. I'm pretty sure baseball season runs through the summer. Am I right, guys? I'm no expert on the sports ball. Let's have a look at the next comment. Polly B on D-Live saying, hello, peeps. Shoutouts to Polly B. Alex1233, hello and good evening. Very nice to see you. He says, bit of pumping, eh? I'm not convinced they ain't finished messing with us yet. Indeed, a lot of people, of course, after yesterday's price action, I see a lot of people citing people's manipulation. Yes, a lot of people citing they and the manipulation, and yeah, it's always the whales and the market makers and some nefarious actors tweaking with the price just as you capitulate and markets. Just as you hit the market sell button, the thing turns around on you, right? Just as when you cave, you have enough, and someone turns the price around on you, and then it pumps 20% intraday, and there goes your portfolio. Let's have a look here. We have CryptoBull21 with us today. Good to see you, CryptoBull. Guardian is with us. He's asking, is Alex sick? No, I don't think Alex is sick, but he is kind of like packing, and he's getting
everything all packed up.
Yeah, he's getting ready to move. He's Mr. On the move. He's going to be broadcasting from Puerto Rico sooner rather than later. Yes, it's the lifestyle of the rich and successful traders, day traders in the space. When you make it so big, you got to head to a tax shelter,
haven.
your local tax haven. Exactly. So big congrats to Alex on that move. But in the meantime, Alex is going to be kind of in and out on the show over the course of the next week or so as he does finish his move and settles in Puerto Rico. Taz Blitz, big shout outs to you. Jay Reinhold over on YouTube. Hey guys, well, good hello to you. Paranormal Debunker, Mochi Simping, says Paranormal Debunker. What is Mochi Simping? I've heard of simping. I've heard of mochi. I have no idea what mochi simping is, but thank you for the comment, Paranormal Debunker. Good afternoon to you. Light Ally, I already mentioned. Please talk about XRP and OMG and Litecoin. All right, I'll make a note of that for the request line. Hang tight. Nice hash login also has some requests. I will certainly look at that in just a minute. Paranormal Debunker. I still have no idea what the mochi thing means. I see a request, CryptoBull. Hang tight. Bricks. Nice. I'm going to wait to buy my computer then. All right.
Nick, Bricks is also moving to Puerto Rico.
Oh, he's also moving to Puerto Rico. Wow. Two Bricks. Your boy Bricks in the live chat. Also on the move to Puerto Rico. I'm pretty jealous. You guys are going to be... living it up down there and enjoying the
and you can just go visit from time to time.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see guys. I'll bring some of the famous Canadian ketchup and maple syrup with me.
Some ketchup chips.
Yeah, those two. You guys don't have them down there? I don't know how you don't have.
No. And you also have all dressed chips or something like that?
That's right. We have all dressed as well. That's also a good flavor. It's funny how you don't have what are potentially the hottest flavors here in Canada.
Ketchup is the hottest flavor.
All right, Bricks, looking forward to having you down there. Best of luck on your journey as well. Light Ally, imagine imagining. Okay.
Imagining.
Yes. Robin from the Hood on DLive. Hey guys, shout outs to Robin. Now J Kim on YouTube. Hi guys. Well, shout outs to J Kim. Finally back on track, says Robin. Being sick has its advantages. I think you meant to say advantages. Yeah, I guess gives you a bit of a reprieve from whatever you're doing. Time off of work. Yeah, sick, I guess, can have its advantages. Fedor Christoph. Shout outs to Mr. Christoph in the YouTube chat. The last couple comments, and we're going to get into the next segment. Ron Legato says, "Yup, eating apple pie right now." All right, he's a real American now, guys. Cue the song, "Real American Now."
And I'm proud to be an American.
Yep. Alex 81 SG, Fear and Greed Index still too high, he says. Maybe we'll glance over at the Fear and Greed Index. Light Ally, late spring to autumn for baseball season in America. Well, thank you very much for clarifying that. Late spring, so we're currently in the middle of baseball season. Let me know when we get to the playoffs. Is that what they call them? Do they call them playoffs?
There's too many goddamn games.
Let's have a look here. Electric, are these institutions in the room with us now? I don't think so. Guardian, my bad, says Guardian. Living La Vida Loca, says Alex1233. Guardian says, I was worried, but it's cool now. And let's have a look here. I see your test. Wardbread, shoutouts to Wardbread. Good luck in your move, says Guardian. It's stressful. I lived in 5 countries myself. Yes, moving about isn't easy. Mr. Ether's with us on YouTube. Shoutouts to Mr. Ether. And CryptoBull writes, think about thinking about something. Okay. And will stickers ever return from the dead? Ask Paranormal Debunker on DLive. Well, guys, maybe I know what tomorrow's poll will be, but we can have an impromptu poll right now. How many people want stickers reactivated in the DLive chat? How many like it sticker free?
Is it sad for me to want the stickers back?
I kind of want the stickers back because I had some good ones collected. At the same time, I can't deny that the chat is a lot easier to keep up with.
Yeah, restream block goes nuts.
Yeah, I get wrecked with the sticker spam, honestly. My chat window can only collect so many comments at one time, and when the stickers fly, it's pretty much impossible to keep up with everyone's sticker spam. So
I was part of the problem, I get it.
Alex 1233, a no Turk sticker would be nice. Okay, I mean.
Well, that just sounds pregnant.
Yeah, that does sound. Yeah, we don't want to be too exclusionary around here. But guys, thank you again for everyone who's joining us this afternoon. It's time to get into the next segment, and that's, of course, TA, quick market overview, brought to you by analyst Jason over here. Jason, you want to go live, and I'll hop into the next scene?
Doing it now.
All right. Let's do it, guys. Let's get into the next scene. I'm going to rejig a few on-screen elements. Here we go. All right, this is good. Jason's going live, and I have to quickly hide this and put this up. All right, guys, you know what to do. Put your requests in now. I'm going to collect them for the request portion of the show coming up in just a little bit. All right. Let's get Jason's chart on screen. There it is. He's currently looking at the BTC USDT on the 24-hour. All right, daily chart. What else do I have to do? I think that's it for now, guys. I'm going to dive into the chat, start extracting your requests, like I said, and let Jason take you through a scan. I'll be back.
All right. Well, I mean, we kind of sit here in the same spot that we were yesterday. We did end up closing yesterday in that bullish engulfing candle that we were talking about. Nice buyback off the bottom, off that test of 28. And now we are continuing to get some continuation up here. Looks like we did perhaps get a baseline bounce off the 13 EMA. As for now, nothing to really do with it on these time frames. I'll go into lower time frames on Bitcoin here in a little bit after I just do a quick scan of everything else just on the overview, but we'll come back to Bitcoin here. DeFi perp also getting that nice, not quite a bullish engulfing, but it did kind of confirm today on this press to the upside. So pretty much everything out there is going to end up looking like this today. We're just getting some good buybacks off of big presses to the downside pretty much across the market. With exceptions of like the QQQ and some tech stocks, which also look pretty interesting. The Dow Jones getting a nice buyback up to a baseline bounce. Nothing to really do here. You're still stuck under resistance. Dragon Perp, another buyback after the sell-off yesterday. Of course, looks the same. Dixie getting a little bit of a buyback here, kind of just going sideways off of that press up. If you guys were here before on this break from here, we did have this measured move up to here to 92, which looks like we perfectly tapped that. Coming back down to kind of... It's interesting that we got the 200 here right under resistance. There's a good possibility in my mind that we go sideways here and maybe even possibly press up. It's impossible to know at this moment, which would be a bearish case for the rest of the market. But as for now, I do believe Justin called this an alligator mouth. Just getting trapped in here between the EMAs and resistance, and then you kind of go sideways till it proves which way it wants to go. As for now, the Dixie exploded up, big movement to the upside. So it's not surprising that we're going to see some candles to the downside. Not really sure if it's going to break or just continue to use the 200 as support as it currently seems to be doing. But
well, Justin called it the alligator mouth because there's an actual 3 EMA indicator called the alligator, and so like when you're in between the EMAs, you're like in the mouth of the alligator. So
yeah, well, I mean, this makes sense. Yep. So that would make a lot of sense on that.
Yeah, it's a particular triple EMA strategy. I'm sure you guys can all Google it. I don't know which.
Yeah. So nothing to really do here with the Dixie. Had a great movement up here to test this shelf of resistance, as we have kind of pointed out already. So as for now, we just don't know. Kind of got to let it do its thing. Ethereum, nice buyback off the bottom. Not looking quite as strong as Bitcoin, but we are getting that continuation to the upside for now. Exchange perp looks the exact same. Mid perp, gonna guess the same thing. So this is another one of those days, guys, where we're like, okay, everything pretty much looks the same except for the QQQ. New all-time high, man, with a continuation signal yesterday. You absolutely could take this. This is still a valid signal. I would think that you might get a little bit of a test to the downside on a baseline bounce here, between this range right here. This looks great, to be honest with you. This looks much different than most of everything out there. Kind of looks reminiscent of Bitcoin dominance, which I think is kind of funny because we did get a full continuation on dominance, but of course we're under a lot of we're not in the all-time highs like we are with the QQQ and the tech stocks, but a good continuation here, which would support the narrative that we could get some volatility to the upside with Bitcoin here. You just can't really know yet. You kind of got to keep an eye on the Dixie and Bitcoin here. Ethereum dominance with Bitcoin doing that, I would assume, is kind of going down. Yep. Kind of gaining some support here. You just don't know if you're going to get that break or not. Just kind of keep an eye on her. This old resistance level. Gold. Nice little buyback off the bottom like everything else. It's interesting that we were looking at this pattern because it's coming back down here to test old resistance as support. This actually looks very reminiscent of Bitcoin on the 4-hour, and one of the reasons why I did end up taking a 4-hour long position yesterday, which just recently got filled. I'll go and show that here in a second. Silver, not looking quite as strong, but it looks like we had this ascending triangle, and to me, honestly, I would be kind of shocked if we get continuation to the upside here, because this is starting to look like a failed ascending triangle. We've got 3 taps of it and no follow through quite yet. I mean, I guess you could get that spring up here, but this looks a lot weaker than some of the other things, in my opinion. I'm not sure why Litecoin's down here, but Litecoin looks the exact same as most other things. Currently, actually a little worse in the sense that it's trapped under some resistance here. You're going to need to get that follow through to really convince me that Litecoin's going to go with it. But with the way Bitcoin dominance and everything's lining up, I think that your eyes should be on Bitcoin. And that's one of the reasons why I ended up taking that 4-hour position to the upside, which I can show you guys now. And then also on Ethereum, because one of the very online guy within the premium group was looking at some patterns, and he was looking at Ethereum on the 4-hour, thinking that we're likely looking at a 3 black crows situation, where I believe personally that we're looking at a 3-bar reversal, which he is currently playing, which we won't know if that's actually going to be what plays out until this next 4-hour candle closes. But going down to the 4-hour here, I can show you guys. This was the signal that I did get right here. Boom, we got a nice explosion above the 13 EMA. Nice close, everything that you'd want. The only thing that you'd want a little bit more would be a rising explosion level, but it's not necessary. So then I did end up putting in an order here at 33,450, which we did just wick down into. Caught that a couple hours ago. Now we're getting a little bit of price continuation. I do consider this to be a very reminiscent of a 3-bar reversal. But if you go and look at Ethereum, it's much more clear. As you can see right here, he was very online guy was looking at this pattern to see if it was possibly maybe a 3 black crows. But usually with a 3 black crows pattern, let's see here. I think I did pull that up. No, let's go 3 black crows. Usually you see momentum actually accelerating to the downside, much like this. yeah, like this much like this, you'll see these things opening up. A lot of times you won't see very many wicks with them either, but looking at this, I think this is much more reminiscent of what they call a 3-bar reversal. And he did currently take that position here on the break of 91, currently getting sold into, but of course you still have 2 more hours on this. So yeah, you might experience a little bit of drawdown, but if this does play out, he's in the right position. And I think it's going to be the same thing that plays out here with Bitcoin. It's just a little bit more clear, because as you see the trend coming down here on the 4-hour, we came up, popped above that, now we're coming back down to test the top of it. Old resistance comes support. So I do think that this is actually very likely for a continuation to the upside, and why I took this position here.
I look at Bitcoin here, and I think we're at least gonna retest the open of that green wicked candle right there.
The open of that green.
The low. The open of the low.
Which candle? I'm sorry.
The big pin bar.
So you think that we're going to come down and test at least 32.5?
No. The pin bar. The low. The one we had yesterday, dude.
So 28,000.
The open of it.
The open of the candle is what he means.
Open of that.
So yeah, that sits at about 31,000.
Because if you look at the hourly, we've broken that uptrend. We've broken the hourly uptrend if you look at it.
Let's go check her out. Let's mark that out. 31. What's that open?
That's the close. You just marked that.
Yeah, I'm not trying to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, around that 31.2. But coming to the hourly, let's see. You do have some nice bullish divergence here, but if we get that breakdown from here, that's probably going to be invalidated on the next bar. So yeah, if we do break down here, we would likely get that test down to that 31.
Draw out the hourly trend. We've already broken.
Mm-hmm. Talking about that one.
Yes. It's like however you want to draw it. We've probably
yeah, I get what you mean. And then boom, broke that trend. Come down here. I mean, that's absolutely a possibility here, but like I said, I'm watching this on the 4-hour, and the reason for taking this position, and like I said, a very online guide, these are just patterns. That doesn't mean that they are absolutely going to play out, but we just got to take them for what they are. But yeah, Alex is right. It does appear we have a broken trend, but that doesn't mean it can't be reclaimed, so we'll just have to sit here and watch. But I am liking the, yeah, you can actually see it pretty good here on the 4-hour with the wicks on that broken trend that Alex is talking about. So possibly looking at this 4-hour, if this were to be a 3-bar reversal, we'd probably see that play out within this 4-hour candle. So it might be a good invalidation for me if this 4-hour closes without hitting that continuation, and might be a good early exit signal. So maybe we'll see on that, because if we do get that test down to 31, of course I don't want to be stuck in a long.
Yeah, Alex81SG in the DLive chat writes, I agree, the 31.1K is also the fib 618. There you go. Tricon32 just joins us in the live chat. Shoutouts to Tricon32, as well as who came in the chat just a few minutes ago? Polly B and Turkbot. Yes, Turkbot. I got my eye on you, but shoutouts to everyone coming.
That's got to be B-Flow.
Yeah, I think that's B-Flow. A lot of talk in the comments about it probably being B-Flow, but shoutouts to everybody joining us a little late in today's show. What's that, Alex?
That's what they want you to think.
That's what he wants you to think.
Damn right.
But yeah, looking at Bitcoin here, I still think the narrative to the upside, I like it, but not sure if it's going to actually play out. It does appear that we're building recapturing old resistance come support. So this is just going to be one of those ones that we kind of just got to watch it day by day, right? And then monitor lower time frames. Like I said yesterday, if I did get that good 4-hour signal on lower time frames, I was going to take it. And so far we're in it. We're up a little bit, but that remains to be seen. Okay. Just trying to think. It's just kind of hard when everything kind of looks the same, right? So let's just do a quick sweep through all of everything and just see if there's anything interesting that pops up. BNB, not really there. NEO looking the exact same. ZEC, about the same. A lot of take profit shorts popping up today. That's one thing to be noted. Rep looking a little bit weaker than everything else, huh? Man. Not a good week for rep holders. Yeah, she's already lost 50% of her value just from about 2 weeks ago. BTG, the real Bitcoin, getting stuck underneath the 100 EMA. I don't think that this looks very strong. XMR. Might have been a nice baseline play, but nope. WADA is not there. Dash. Did get some continuation shorts yesterday, but the reason why I did not take them is because with it being so underneath my 13 EMA, I was expecting bounces like we are seeing. So maybe depending on how today finishes out, there might be some continuation shorts on the table. Zen, nice buyback on Zen, baseline bounce. Ethereum. Might be an interesting continuation short on Ethereum today as well. So if we do get that 3-bar reversal on lower time frames, this is likely to extend up and kind of invalidate the continuation short. So we'll see by the end of the day. Like I said, might have some continuation shorts on the table. I'll just do a quick scan through the low sats because I'm not going to be shorting any of these things.
Some are continuation shorts, some are take profit shorts. This market can't seem to make up its mind.
Yeah, everything's just kind of in limbo right now, man. Like, people are scared. That's the funny thing. Like, and when people are scared, that's when you should probably be making moves. Man, S&T getting destroyed. POA, FIB. Let's see if there's anything that really sticks out to us here today. Exit pump on DNT. DNT is notorious for that. LRC really playing the range in here. Man, to be honest with you, I don't hate that spot on LRC, to be honest with you. Like, I'm never going to advise trying to catch knives, but looking at LRC over time, I think that this would be a great place to maybe DCA into LRC. Just an interesting chart here. Of course, it could break lower all the way down to these levels, but historically, this has been resistance, 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 boom, support, support, and then break or support. We just don't know yet. Certainly getting that reaction off the bottom, so it's interesting. Here's another one that looks pretty similar. QSP looks very similar to LRC there. VeChain. I know I got a few probably pretty upset VeChain investors. Yeah, just too overextended to take any of these things.
Yeah, watching you scan through these, I can see why Bitcoin dominance is
rising.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's people are fleeing from their alts into the Bitcoin, and that's why I've been saying, like, with dominance doing what it's doing, I think that you should probably be focusing your attention on Bitcoin here. That's why I haven't really been taking any really many alt positions as of now, and been waiting for that good signal on Bitcoin. Let's just hope we don't get torched on it.
Yeah, I swear I've seen this pattern so many times through other crypto cycles. This is kind of making me feel kind of bullish here for Bitcoin, at least. Maybe not the alts.
Yeah, like my spider sense is just tingling as of yesterday after finding that pattern, that I really do think that there's a good chance we get follow through to the upside, because that would really hurt everyone who's trying to short all of this, who's expecting that retracement down to 31, who's expecting that retracement down to 38. Like, I mean, in White Coffee, in terms, like, the spring is what usually fucks everyone, and we could get a spring off the bottom, which would result in a big reversal candle, which we're calling Jericho. I think that narrative makes sense. I'm not saying that it's absolutely going to play out, of course, just...
Borg's channel just came through the chat. He says, we have all dressed chips here in Utah. I love those ones, yo. Yes, all dressed is probably one of my favorite flavors. All dressed Ruffles in particular. Borg's channel. Apparently they have those. What's that?
Like, I'm pretty sure we have one that people compare it to, but it's called something else.
Well, I guess it's kind of regional, but the Utah homies have, apparently they have all dressed down there, so congrats to Borg's channel. Light Ally comes through the D-Live chat and says, anyone else have ketchup-flavored Doritos yet? Yeah, that's something they've released recently in Canada. I gotta say, I like Doritos, and I like ketchup in particular. Ketchup Doritos is just too good. I don't know, Light Ally, are you in Canada? Is that how you got access to these ketchup flavored Doritos? Do let us know. All dressed is great, says Cavano Trades. All right, guys, we are officially. This is no longer Breaking Bitcoin. This is no longer the Cracking Cryptocurrency channel. This is officially all chips.
Bread.
Yes,
all bread.
Yes, your favorite chip topping channel. Back to real business, guys. Come on.
Good reaction off of Bat here. Considering you're under the baseline in that big old candle, usually this is something that you can actually look to take a small short position on a baseline bounce. But with the way that the market's reacting, I'm not sure if that's something that I would even look to do. You just consider it a better entry on this continuation short and put your stop. Put your stop right here at 1,792 sats, which would be a nice, pretty tight stop to where if you're wrong, you're wrong. But with the continuation that we're getting out of some stuff, I don't know if that's the best play here. Right. So yeah, guys, everything looks pretty much the same. Hoping that I could get a better entry on, because I was hoping to short data, but it just gave me way too much in one candle for me to do anything with.
Taz Blitz on D-Live writes, curry battered chips in the UK. Yes, what we call chips here are what you're referring to as crisps. So when we say chips, we don't mean your chips. We mean our chips. We mean crisps. Not chips, but crisps. But chips for us. All right. Enough food talk. Enough
Doritos. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
Enough talk on that. Seems like Jason's done the scan, and markets looking, at least the alt space, looking pretty droopy.
Yeah, and that's to be expected with Bitcoin dominance doing what it's doing. Looks like we are getting that breakdown a little bit on lower time frames on Bitcoin here, so we'll see. We might get that test down to 31.
Could it be possible? Is alt season truly over? Should you have been stacking sats? Should you have been converting your super fat altcoin gains over the last few months into BTC, or at least hedging, getting ready to buy the BTC now? We shall see. I don't want to call all season over just yet, but are these early indications that we're going to see a bit of a decoupling in the next few weeks while Bitcoin roars up? Could be a possible scenario here. What are your targets for the Bitcoin 4-hour trade if we do move up? Asks Maurice Eddy. All right, I guess we can get into the requests, and we can
get that to you real quick here. I'm looking at the 4-hour signal that I took. Looks like we got targets of 35,463 for TP1, 36,969, and 38,475 with a stop at 31,698. So we will see if Alex gets that test. Might likely get stopped out of that position, but this is why we manage our risk specifically.
Wait, did you hit your TP1 there? It kind of looks like it wicked up, or did you not? That was earlier.
Yeah, well, it didn't wick. It didn't. At that point, it hadn't filled my order yet because it hadn't dropped low enough to get it. But
Gotcha.
No, that still wouldn't have hit. 34,794 is where it hit, and 463 is the first take profit. So nope.
All right. Well, good luck in the 4-hour trade. You did post that to the group yesterday, right? Was that an official signal, or was that just something we talked about in Members Lounge?
That was an official signal.
All right, sweet. Look forward to that. Congrats to anybody.
We're not down very much at all. We entered at 33,450. We're sitting at 33,390. So not a big deal.
All right. Good luck on hitting at least your first take profit on that. Let's hope the bullishness picks up some pace here. All right. In that case, let's start getting into some of these requests. I'm gonna pull up the first request now on screen, but shout outs to Maurice Eddy, who asked about that 4-hour signal we talked about. Let's get into the first request. This one comes from Jay Reiholt over on YouTube, and they write, please talk about XRP, OMG, LTC. All right, let's start with XRP.
XRP, USDT. Already went through the scan on this one, looking at the daily. Looks like basically everything else getting a nice buyback off the bottom. Nothing to do here, way too overextended from your baseline. Usually with an extension below your baseline like this, you tend to either go sideways and let the baseline catch up, or get that wick up to the baseline and then the reversal. But nothing to do here on XRP. Just gotta let it do what it's gonna do.
All right, Ripple Bros, there is your look at XRP. Let's look at OMG, Amizago, and next.
OMG. Exact same scenario here. There is a nice shelf of support down here off of old resistance comes support. Getting a bounce off the bottom. The same exact scenario as XRP here. You're likely to go sideways or press up to your baseline. Nothing to do. Yep. Nothing to do on that. And then you said LTC. LTC breaking through old support, now becoming resistance, wicking off the top, coming back down. Again, this is like going to probably be the same scenario as XRP on whether we either go trade sideways from here and keep this resistance level, and then the baseline comes down to meet it and then further breakdown, or we get the break up and continuation to the upside. Nothing to do. Currently trapped under resistance. Just got to give it more time.
All right, there's your look at Amizago. Finally, final request for Jane Reiholt on YouTube. LTC, yes, Litecoin runs out.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Oh, all right. Jason always ahead of me on the requests. I gotta get used to co-piloting with Jason.
Yeah, I looked this one up. I know that the next request is an FEG ChartX coin, and it is interesting. Looking at this on the daily.
Hold on. How are you with FEG? Did we even do Litecoin yet, or?
Yeah, I did it. I was on Litecoin when you said it.
Okay, gotcha. Well, that was quick. See, this is what happens when you get ahead of me. All right, FEG. I wasn't sure if this was FEG on ChartX as the
It's gotta be.
request, or did he mean the ChartX token and FEG? But okay, good enough. Do your look at FEG if you can, please.
It's gotta be.
Yeah,
Looking
I
at
think
it
you're right.
here on the 4 hour. We haven't quite got a break a trend, but I do like the retracement off the top, and then the support that we're building. A nice 90%, 89% retracement from the top. That's pretty classic retracement on top of the a parabolic move, and then you got old resistance here becoming support. I think this is going to be a great buy window here if we get it at all. But looking at the way that we've reacted off the bottom and the way we're turning up, I do think that there's a good chance that we might get some activity out of this. It does appear that the 4 hour trend has been broken, and you're likely to get a test to the downside here. But these things are very volatile. Look how cheap it is, man. I mean, 0.000000001. Like, it's just hard to know. But even a test up to the trend of the historic trend, I still think that's like a 100% move. Let's see. Just from here, it's about a 70% move up to the trend. So this is interesting. I mean, I can't say that the pattern hasn't played out a lot for me. Like, this is the exact pattern that me and Alex kept playing on HBAR, to where boom, you get your nice break a trend, then boom, explosion up to your old levels. So it's something to definitely pay attention to. I would keep an eye on it. I think that it's just getting the same bounce off the bottom like everything else is, but whether that gets followed through or not, it's an interesting chart to say the least. I mean, whoever was in right here, God bless you.
No kidding. All right. Let's dive into the next request. Shoutouts to Nice Hash Login on YouTube for the FEG on ChartX request. CryptoBull21 writes ETHUP USDT. What is ETHUP? Is this similar to UP BNB? What is ETHUP?
I got a big news story for you guys.
What you
want
got?
to talk about real quick? I'll drop this. You want me to send this to you or drop a news post for me?
Let me tell you what will be most suitable. Could you drop it in Saturday Movie Night channel?
Okay.
Much thanks. All right, thank you. Back to Jason.
Looking at this ETHUP, I assume it's some kind of inverse contract, like the way SA.
Yeah, that's exactly what it'll probably be now that you mention it.
Yeah. Looking at it here as to what to do with it, nothing really. If you were playing this, you got a continuation short here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about a week ago, that did play out beautifully, getting the same reaction off the bottom as everything else. Nothing to really do.
Isn't ETHUP basically just the ETH.D chart?
That's what I was thinking, because ETH up, like ETH down, would be the inverse. So I'm like, why does this even exist?
Well, yeah, I guess it's a way to take a position just on movement. But I'm with you. I don't understand why you would take ETH up instead of just ETH.
Yeah, I mean, you would probably understand it way better than I would, and I don't get this. So
maybe there's no funding. Maybe there's like another reason. You know,
there's got to be something, right? It doesn't exist for no reason.
Well, apparently fulfills some function that market participants are gladly using in order to speculate on the price of Ethereum moving up on all sorts of time frames. All right, so with that said, I'm going to interrupt Jason for just a minute. Let's pull up this breaking news that Alex brought to our attention here. Let me just see if I can get it on screen. Here we go. All right, this is it. Tweet here coming out right now. Let me just take a look. Sorry guys, I just want to make sure it's clearly visible on screen. All right, tweet from James Spediacci. Stakehound, the second biggest ETH2 staking pool after Lido, lost their users' private keys. Oof, this could mean a massive amount of money. Let's have a look here. So here we go. We see Stakehound here. It's the second largest pool. They own about 8.8%. Wow, so they do trail Lido quite a bit. But 8.8%, 63,000 Ethers staked. Potentially lost. Stakehound lost $75 million worth of ETH with its custodian. Remember when they tried to sue Lido for the TETH name instead of focus on launching a product? Now they don't need to. They can simply rebrand to Lost ETH. Oof. Damn, shots fired here. Lost ETH, I guess, got what was coming to them. Well deserved, maybe, but unfortunately comes at a huge cost to everybody who had money locked up in this particular ETH 2.0 staking pool. Man, how do you lose the private keys? How do you put yourself out there as an organization, as a staking pool, where you end up accumulating millions of dollars in your contract? And you somehow let all these people down, don't do your due diligence. Like, what happened? What happened? I'm gonna have to investigate further, but Stakehound, rest in peace to any ETH 2.0 stakers in that pool. Highly unfortunate. Goes to show you the space is fraught with all types of risk. You thought you were locking it into a nice and safe, secure, stable 2.0 contract, gonna earn you a nice APY, and then
that's lost their private keys. Like, I bet they lost their money, had the keys, and they're like, well, we lost your keys, sorry.
No, it's an ETH2 staking pool, so I mean, you can't do anything with the stuff once it's staked in ETH2 right now. It's trapped in the contract.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because it's not live.
Yeah, that, and if they did try to make off with the money, it'd be clear, very clear just by looking at the blockchain that someone made off with the money. So that excuse will never fly. It's likely that yes, that will be stuck and locked in that contract forever, and anybody who supplied ETH to that contract is now probably a bit upset. All right, always do your due diligence in this space and never trust anyone. Apparently, even the staking pools for Ethereum 2.0 contract, even those are fraught with risk. Seemingly, the number 2 in the space just let everybody down. Oof. All right, let's check back in with Jason. Currently on Bitcoin, we're drooping $33,033. The magical 33.33.
Looks like we're still testing this top of this trend line. Whether we break from here or not, it remains to be seen. I do like that it's coming down under this old support, but yeah, because I think a breakdown to 31 would invalidate the narrative of the upside flush, but I'm just not sure yet. It'll be interesting. Like, these are definitely interesting days for intraday trading.
All right, let's get back into the requests. I think concerning ETHUP, we have an answer. Someone, I think, Cryptobull says it's a leverage token. Yes, so this might be a token that even when you trade at 1x has some prepackaged leverage.
Kind of like the way SH is a 1-to-1 on the traditional, the NASDAQ, and then SDS is a 2x leveraged.
Precisely, something akin to that. Let's have a look here. Yes, Alex81SG asks, is it a leverage token? I think you guys were right. Cavano Trades clarifies, yes, 3x leverage over spot. Okay, now I know perfectly well how it works. Thank you for the clarification, guys. For people,
then it will trade exactly the same as the ETH chart, and then and the ETH down will trade the inverse of the ETH chart.
ETH will be
it'll be and if those are the same leverage tokens, I'm thinking then ETH Moon and ETH Doom, which are 10x leverage tokens, will vaguely trade the same. It will sort of give you the same signals, but if you look at the charts, you'll see they tend to diverge over time. And that's because leverage tokens
go to zero,
they go to zero mathematically over time.
Yeah.
Losses count more than wins, and the losses are leveraged too. So
there you go. All right. Quick look under the hood at the ETH up, ETH down, and now even learned about ETH Doom and ETH Moon. Crazy all the products a trader can get access to for all their degenerate gambling needs. Let's have a look here. Kavano Trades clarifies it's actually a variable leverage product. It moves from 1.25x to 4x leverage over spot. Not exactly sure how that works. Yeah, probably good to familiarize yourself with the exact mechanics before you go trading ETH up or down, but I presume whoever requested it's probably aware of that. Red Bull 9, nobody must sell his crypto. They must not, but no one forces them to, but certainly if you want to get out, you get out. It's Ponzi. Hey, I have a shitcoin request of the day. All right, stand by. I'm going to add that to the list right now. In fact, I'm going to introduce the next request, guys. We're kind of, low and thin on the request line today, so we are certainly taking our time wandering through these charts with Jason today. So if you're wondering about the D-Live chest, we are going to get into that 25 minutes, roughly 25 minutes from now. The D-Live chest is going to get opened. Let me add It's Ponzi's request, and in the meantime, let's get into the next one. We have UBX for Crypto Bull 21. He says UBX is just waiting for that pop to the downside, upside. Well, I guess the upside. Looking at this chart.
Yeah, I'm with you on this, and UBX is something that I did put some money into for a longer term hold, not really micromanaging it, because I bought somewhere right down in here. As we're just trending sideways here, I do think that we're beginning to get outside of the trend, going sideways. A nice another dip down to test, but I mean, it's either honestly doom or gloom. You're like, if it does continue to the downside, you're like, ugh, well, how much further can it go besides zero? But I think this space would be something to look at. But after, let's see, 92% off the top, nice parabolic move with a 90% retracement. The reason why I took this one, just for the fundamental reasons of the retracement, the parabolic move, and then listing sideways out of the trend. At that time, there was a lower time frame one that had broke that I looked at. I believe it was somewhere around in here. That it was like right about in here is where I bought on the break of the 4-hour trend, which got sold back into. So I bought like right about here, and we got sold back into, and then we've just been going sideways, come back out of here. I think it's a good play, to be honest with you. This is one of the reasons why I'm in it, is because even on a pop up to the old resistance levels, you're still looking at that's a 500% move, whether we get that or not. I mean, even half of that down to the bottom of this resistance, what would that be? Oh, come on. Even to right here is a 270% move. I mean, that's not too shabby. But yeah, it's just one of those patterns that I really like and that have played out for me in the past well. Like I said, me and Alex traded Doge the exact same way. Made some good money off of that. Or Hoge, sorry, not Doge. But yeah, this pattern looks good. That's why it's one of those things that gets set it and forget it, because I don't know how long it's going to take for that pattern to play out. But it's not a significant amount of money that I can't let sit there, right? So I'm in it with you, man. I think that over time that this will likely play out to the upside. I just can't really tell you when.
All right, time to accumulate a little bit of UBX. Thank you for that request, Crypto Bull. A good look at that one. Let's see here, a bit of additional advice or clarification from Alex81SG. The charts of leverage tokens often look different because these tokens are generally rebalanced over time. Most do it daily. All right, good to know. Let's get into the next request, and we have the following for Rolo Maximus. Could you guys take a look at KDA? That's Kadena. I'd like to pick it up lower. All right, what's KDA? Is it on?
Is it a stock or
crypto?
Is it, no?
It's a crypto. Click crypto.
KuCoin?
Yep.
Well, to be honest with you, it doesn't look terrible. There's nothing you can do here. I mean, it's just kind of, ever since it got dropped, how much has it lost? Knock it off. She lost about 70% of her value. Nothing to quite do here yet, but with my system, it does look like within the next couple of days, you might get that break. So you've just been lazily underneath your EMA here for quite a bit. I bet on lower time frames, you're starting to get it. Yep. Lower time frames, it does look like you would have got a quality 4-hour signal here. Boom. Which already would have played out and hit TP1. You're likely to come back down here and test. But on the daily, I think this is something to keep an eye on for the week. You are coming up on resistance here, so there's a possibility that it does fail. This is the reason why we use baselines and oscillators. But you could just be getting a nice test of the 13 and then another breakdown. But keep an eye on it. If you're I mean, I'm not sure what kind of baseline you guys use, but I like the 13 just in the sense of how I can identify patterns, as well as it'll give me a little bit earlier entry than, let's say, the 60 hole like Alex uses. It's just like the way I like to trade. So keep an eye on this over the week. If you start getting a press above into that 51 cent range, I think that that's going to be a likely good spot to take this to the upside. But as for now, there's nothing to do with it.
All right, well, there was your look at KDA.
One other thing I will point out about it is I do like this.
He does say he wants to pick it up lower, so I don't know if you want to plot out, although you probably already described potential bottoms, but...
Well, that's the thing. Like, since it's never been any lower, I can't really give you that. Like, you just have to wait to see if you get a break to the upside or if you get a break to the downside, and then let it show you where it's going to go. But there's no data that gives us any kind of resistance or levels that we could really shoot off of. Kind of shoot in the dark here.
Yep. Any further thoughts on KDA before we get into this next one?
Nope, keep an eye on it.
All right, Rolo also wants to look at BNB, as well as a quick shout out to Tazblitz, Alex81, Crypto Bull, dropping lemons, dropping ice creams. Much thanks, guys. We're going to be opening that D-Live chest in just a few minutes. Hang tight.
BNB, the same thing. We beautifully hit TP2 on BNB, the BTC pairing, and then we got bought back up. Actually, yesterday was a beautiful reason for why we trade the way that we do, in the sense of why we separate out TP1, TP2, TP3, because yesterday on that big press to the downside, a lot of people were just sitting there staring at it going, I'm going to make a lot of money. I'm going to make a lot of money if this keeps going. And they didn't take any profit. And then all of a sudden we got this huge reversal candle. And now everyone's like, oh, now I'm not even in profit. Like, you need to be taking profit along the way. So we hit a bunch of TP2s yesterday on that stab to the downside, got this reaction to the upside. And now we're still only with 20% of our positions left to really let the market figure out what it wants to do. Nice press to the upside on BNB USDT. Does appear that we got some resistance that it's getting sold into from here, but there's nothing to do here. Let it do what it's going to do. It's going to be the same scenario as Litecoin and all the other ones that we've looked at, on whether we just trade sideways and the baseline catches up, or price presses up to the baseline. So nothing to do on BNB.
All right, and let's have a look at the next request. What do we got left here? Polkadot for Wardbread on Twitch.
Literally take everything I just said about BNB and just double it. And Dot was another one that we were in that we hit TP2 on this stab down, and now we're getting bought back into. So exact same scenario, nothing to do on whether we get another press up to the baseline or whether we go sideways and continue the downside. Nothing to do. This is why it's so important to be in positions, because this is where we took Dot USDT to the downside on Bybit. Boom, beautiful short here. With this is everything that you want to see. Just barely over that dead zone, huh? But rising explosion level across under on TT, full signal on Minx. Right below, very tight to the 13 EMA. These are ones that I love taking because it gives me a pretty good risk to reward on if we close above that 13 EMA, I can get out of it sooner. But we just kept coming down here. Let's see where those TPs were. Boom. So hit TP1, TP2, stab to the downside. Now we get that buyback. So we're in a great position here. 80% of the position is already locked in the profit, 20% riding. So let's just see what she does.
All right. Let's have a look at the next request. We have coin. Coin here for Torrent. That's, of course, the Coinbase stock.
Reaction off the bottom. Yeah, this is what we were talking about. I was up about 220 yesterday, and I'm like, well, if we do get that continuation out of Bitcoin, there's a good chance that we get a press to the upside. You're getting a take profit short here, the second one that you've gotten on coin throughout its history. Of course, this is a relatively newer coin. I do like this this trend here on how we have a break and then a nice test to the bottom, test the lows, and then get a nice reaction off the bottom. Wait for this to get above. I think that this is another one that you need to be watching closely during the week, because you might get a full, with the way that this is curving and how low it is, you probably have a couple of days, unless it's just an explosion to the upside, a couple of days to wait before you get that signal. So there is time here, but coin might be a good grab, especially if we get that that press to the upside on Bitcoin. Not a lot of data, of course, but we can only work with what we got.
All right, let's have a look at the final request currently on the board. It's from It's Ponzi over on DLive. He writes, hey, I have a shitcoin request of the day. Proton, XPR, USDT. It hit all-time lows. I'm wondering if it's just a dud where it's sitting. All right.
Well, it does appear that you're trapped under resistance right now. You did come to dive down in here into an all-time low. I wish there was a little bit more data. It depends on how you want to look at it, to be honest with you. You did get a crossover here, but you're curling back again. I don't really know much about this, on how much liquidity it has and everything like that. Never heard of the coin myself. Feel like they made it what it is just so it was close enough to XRP that people would buy it. But nothing to really do here. You are getting that take profit short. I guess if you wanted to take a stab at it, you could, but I mean, like when we say something hit all-time highs, usually you get a little bit more higher high, right? So I mean, same premise is available for when you get a new lower low. It's oftentimes that you could get more appreciation to the downside, but it could, if you do get the pop off the bottom, I think that this could be considered a spring, and then you're likely to take it back up to these highs. So I mean 0.017, but you need to wait for that confirmation. Yes, you're getting that TP take profit short here, but like everything else, wait to see if you get back above that baseline. That's a beautiful opportunity cost to just wait. I mean, if you got in here and then lost, like how much further downside to zero, right? Yeah, you could. Well, yeah, of course, but I mean, yeah, you're gonna lose all your money if this thing decides to dive again. So wait for that confirmation. Don't be taking stabs in the dark just because it's the lowest it's ever been. That doesn't mean it's not the lowest it can't go.
Yeah, as tempted as I would be to scoop this up along with a few other, scraping the barrels like that UBX, with at the back of my mind, I'm thinking about Bitcoin and doing what it's doing right now, the dominance rising, the possible alt cycle being over with. As inclined as you might be to follow the trend of the last few months, where everything kind of pumps in tandem, maybe we are seeing a bit of decoupling here. Maybe alts have more room to give up some of the price as Bitcoin potentially pumps in the zone. Tough to say. Or on the flip side, Bitcoin's going to dump and take these things down with them anyway. So it seems a bit dangerous. If I understand, it's tempting to scoop these things up at these lows, but
they're designed to tempt you. I mean, that's just what, in the way that I think about it, the markets are designed to tempt you to put your money in so someone can take your liquidity.
All right, well, there was the last request, but two more just came in, so I'm adding them now to the list, guys. This first one comes from Gary Dotson over on YouTube. He asked, did you guys do Solana yet? No, we didn't do Solana yet. Let's give Sol a look.
Oh, that looks very reminiscent of Bitcoin right now. But it's basically the same thing. You did get some good reaction off the bottom in comparison to a lot of the other things. You even got the baseline bounce all the way up, but it looks the exact same as everything else right now. Nothing to do. Just kind of let's see what happens over the course of the next few days. But picking it up here is just buying something under resistance. Not sure why I didn't see this one, because this is a beautiful short signal, which would have played out beautifully. You would have smoked all 3 TPs for sure. But it would have been good to be in a position about a week ago on sold to the downside, which would have played out beautifully. Right now, nothing to do. It's interesting that it does look oddly reminiscent of Bitcoin right here. So this is Bitcoin. It's a lot. It's damn near the exact same pattern.
All right. Well, shout outs to Gary Dotson over on YouTube for that request. Let's have a look. We had, like I said, one more request to do here still. This one coming from Tricon32. Give me just a second to get it on screen. All right, so this one comes from Tricon32. He wants to look at WRX and Nano. Let's do it. He says WRX Nano showing long signal on the daily. All right, let's start with WRX, then we'll look at this Nano long signal on the daily.
WRX is the exact same scenario as Sol USDT. Coming down here, testing, getting a nice reaction off the bottom, just nothing to do, hanging out underneath your 200 EMA. Just need more time to do something. You are getting a buy signal on time transformation here, which, I mean, whether that plays out or not, you are getting some nice bullish divergence here that I'm noticing, though, on whether this plays out or not. But you are getting some nice bullish divergence here on the daily, so give it a little bit more time. You are easing right up on there. I will admit that this one is closer to its baseline than others seem to be, so give it a little bit of time, and if you get that reaction above and get follow through with your momentum on Wadatar, then yeah, absolutely take a stab at this. Back up to the highs likely, but as for now, there's just nothing that you can do. It does look interesting though.
All right, well, there's your look at WRX Nano. See what's going on with Nano. Long signal on the daily, huh? See what Jason's system might paint for this one.
Long signal on the daily. You're literally in oversold territory on Minx. How is that? I mean, you're getting a a reversal on time transformation, but other than that, you have nothing that you need. You have no momentum. The WADA is negative, and you're even below the dead zone here. There's just nothing to do here, man. You're so far away from your 13 EMA, it's going to do the same thing. It's going to either wander down here, go sideways, or you're going to get that buyback up to it and then that sell-off again. Just nothing to do here on Nano. And as you can see, unlike Solana, you don't have that bullish divergence anymore. I mean, I guess you could consider this type C bullish divergence if you're looking from here to here, but no, that's way too weak for me. So this is like everything else. Just be patient with it, see what happens, whether we get that buyback or not.
All right, Jason definitely not feeling the the Nano. All right, Tricon32, thank you for that request. Guys, that pretty much rounds out today's requests on the board. Yes, about
pretty easy day, right?
All right, we got thank yous coming in from the last 3 request users. It's Ponzi writes, it's thanks boys. Gary Dotson, thanks guys, and Tricon32, thanks a lot, Jason. All right, our pleasure as always. All right. Let's check it on the time. Let's see if we got to give away those lemons, guys. 3 minutes to go for the lemon giveaway. Let me just take a look. Is anybody?
I'm interested to watch these next 2 hourly candles on Bitcoin, because that will be what invalidates the 3-bar reversal, especially on Ethereum. And this was what I was talking to Very Online guy is usually what you see with a 4-hour 3-bar reversal like this will be a descending channel breakout on the hourly. So this is what I pointed out to him. We are still within that trend, coming down to test old resistance come support. So within these next 2 hours, if we get this break above this trend, then I think it's confirmed a 3-bar reversal. So these next 2 hours are going to be a lot of fun to just see what happens, right? So this will likely look like this. If it plays, we'll get that play right to here. And then on the 4 hour, what it will be is just these three, and then we'll have this green that at least rises up to here to break the trend. So keep an eye on it, guys. This is going to be this will be an interesting break, because if we get a 3-bar reversal off this much volatility, then I really do believe that we're going to go up another measured move. So
what time is the? That's way more bars than 3. What is it? 4 hours?
1, 2, 3, and then this one just needs to be green. What I'm saying is this has an hour and 16 minutes before close. This would need to break within the next hour and 16 minutes. And like I said, if we do get that, then I think that we'd probably likely get another measured move sent to the upside.
I just think that's more bars than the 3-bar reversal would ordinarily have.
What do you mean? 1, 2, 3, and then this one needs to be green. Just like this.
I mean, the candle up is one of the bars on the 3-bar reversal.
No, it's not. Look, 1, 2, 3. You go the new high, and then you have the 3 reversal, and then the break above the top of the open on the 3rd bar.
Okay. I guess I am incorrect. My mistake.
So we'll see.
All right. No worries there. Let's have a look. We do have a late request coming in. I figure we can still look at this one, seeing we still got a bit of a surplus on time here. 30 seconds to go for the chest. So I'm going to introduce just the request and then go promptly open it. In the meantime, Christian Zeladon on YouTube writes, "Hi, I was wondering what's a good buy zone for HBAR in the retest of support for BTC." All right, do you mean HBAR or BTC, or do you mean in case BTC retests us? All right, well, let's just take a look at the question in general. I gotta go open that chest. Get your D-Live cups ready, guys. The lemons are about to poureth forth, guys. Let's throw a lucky 555 lemons in this chest. Click and distribute. Good luck, everyone. You should be seeing that prompt any second now. Get your lemons in.
So to take a quote from Alex, Jason of the past liked this range here from 17 to 15, which we just wicked back through and getting that buyback. As for now, I don't really know what to tell you because we just don't know what direction we're heading. Likely to get that take profit short here either today or tomorrow. But I think the levels that you should look at if we do break are 9 and 6 cents. We should come back down here to test this old resistance. And then this old little order block here. Actually, I actually like this better, sorry. I like that better. So 11 cents to 6 cents. What would that be? About an 85% retracement to 6 cents. But as for now, we just don't know, guys. So you just gotta take it day by day.
All right, there is your look at HBAR potential buy zones, hopefully covered in that one. Let's have a look at the winners of today's big lemon giveaway. We gave away over 560 lemons, guys, and let's have a look. Taz Blitz, 116 lemons to you. Tricon 32 with 67 lemons. Electric with 49. Paranormal Debunker with 39. Alex 81SG with 32 lemons. Congrats, guys. Always a pleasure to give away those lemons. Nice to see all the regulars taking all top 5 slots. All right. Let's have a look. Do I have another request here? All right, so that was a look at HBAR. Let me dive into the chat, see if anything still remains. If not, we're going to start winding the show down here. Tazblitz says, wow, that was unexpected. Many thanks. Well, congrats, Tazblitz. It's good to see your name on the board. I'm glad you claimed yours. G's Win Bro, or GG Easy Win Bro, I guess is what his name says on D-Live. He says, hello, bro. Well, hello, bro, to you, GG Easy Wins. Let's see here. Ears Up joins us on D-Live as well. shout outs to this new user, Ears Up. Haven't really seen you in the chat before, but good to have you in here. He says, good stream, guys. Thank you. All right. We have another user posting a request. It's going to be BAT-USDT giving some volume, or getting some volume. All right, let's put BAT-USDT on the board. Jason will take a look at that next.
I did look at this on my initial scan. On the daily, it did seem to be getting a little bit more volatility out of it than the rest of it, but in the terms of where we are in comparison to the patterns on everything else, pretty much the exact same. A nice buyback on it, but like I said, some of these are going to have the baseline come down to meet it, and some of them are going to get that buyback all the way to the baseline.
Can you look at it?
Now,
can you check it out on the 4-hour or the hourly? I'm just curious. Maybe it is building something on the lower time frames.
For sure. If you look right here, that this is a quality 4-hour signal, boom, right above, and you haven't had anything to invalidate it quite yet. If you were to take this position,
should have taken it 3 candles ago.
Well, that's where you would have been. But looking at here, where would be your first take profit? First take profit is right there at 0.57. What was our high? 0.567. But yeah, I mean, it still looks like it's on track to complete. There's no way of really knowing that, but you do look like you're getting a little bit of rejection on past support become resistance. So just no way of really knowing right now. Look at 12. 12 does seem to be rejecting off the baseline. It's another case of you just got to give it a little bit more time to prove itself.
All right, well, there's a look at BAT. Finally, since we have a few more minutes still remaining, sure, we can do another request. Just came in, user by the name of Benjai over on YouTube writes, hey guys, can you take a look at HNT on the 24-hour and the 4-hour, please? Yeah, let's look at HNT, Helium Network.
HNT, in terms of where we're at, the same exact thing as most of everything else that we're looking at on the daily. There's nothing to do there. The 4-hour likely to look the same. You probably did. Nope. You did not get a good signal on the 4-hour, and which would have been invalidated already, coming back down here to test the lows. So nothing really to do here at all with HNT. In terms of signals, even if this does play out like the same thing, like you get a 3-bar reversal off this, the same way that you're looking at ETH, your systems just can't catch everything, right? So this would have been an invalidated signal already, but I mean, who's to say it can't follow through? You just got to take your signals that are good, and HNT is just giving me nothing.
Yeah, certainly turned down more than the others on this 4-hour outlook. All right, what do we have left? I think that's about it, guys. Jose Alves over on D Live writes, hey guys, I know the show is ending, but how are you all doing? Well, we're doing pretty good. Yes, you can catch the replay, of course. I know you might have joined a little late, Jose. We're winding things down here, but as always, the replay available, video on demand right after the show wraps on YouTube. And as always, timestamps for anybody new. If you're just joining, please subscribe. If you do want to, of course, review the replay, makes timestamps come along with it, make it super easy to catch all your favorite tokens, all your favorite chart requests, easily referenced by the timestamps in the description below. We do get those uploaded usually within an hour of the show wrapping. Let's have a look here. Binance Fraud Alert is back in the chat. He says, Doge, please, Jack, and Alex, please, thank you. Well, Alex is actually away somewhat today. He's kind of away from keyboard. He's here in the chat, but he's coming and going. He's doing a lot of things because Alex preparing for his big move to Puerto Rico. He's going to be setting foot back on the sandy shores, probably by next week. In the meantime, let's take a look at, yes, Doge. Jason's already there, so Doge.
Even a great continuation short on Doge here. Doge was one of those ones that it had quite the reaction off the bottom. What was it? A nice 51% move off the bottom. I didn't quite see that on a lot of them, but you can expect that with these shit coins, the volatility to be a little bit higher. This is the same as everything else, man. Nothing to do here, especially with these really, really low ones. And I just don't like anything anything to do with the tokenomics and stuff like that. I think this thing's going to trend towards zero over time. I want to see Doge back at these levels, to be honest with you, like that 8 cents test, or even like the lows under a penny, man. There's nothing to do here, and I wouldn't trust my 4-hour system on Doge, to be honest with you, because it's not been properly back tested. You did get a good signal out of it here, but TT's already crawling back over, so I wouldn't be touching Doge right now. Especially, we just haven't got a good retracement off the top that I think is necessary for Doge. But then again, it's one of the reasons why we don't really mess with the shit coins, right? Besides what we're joking around about SHIB, but not something we commonly do. But nothing to do right here. Still trapped under resistance for now. A wick up to test the baseline, getting sold into. Pretty classic baseline bounce. But nothing to do on Doge.
Alright guys, that's it. The show's gonna wind down right here, right now. That was the final request. Shout outs to Jason, of course, for holding down the TA in today's show. Knocked out a fair share request today. We took it pretty slow, pretty easy actually. Given that, not overwhelmed with requests on a day like this. So again, Jason, big shout outs to you. Let's read a few more comments remaining. Benjai over on the YouTube chat says, thanks for that, guys. Always sad when we got to get to the end of the show. Well, never fret. We back tomorrow. Same crypto time, same crypto channel. Thursday, going to hit you with another edition of the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Tricon32, thanks for the awesome stream and good analysis. Always learn something from you guys. Thank you for that. My pleasure, Tricon32. We love putting on the show for you guys every day. Love it's extra satisfying when they walk away with extra knowledge, right?
Yeah, just do us a favor and tell your friends about us, because it's hard enough getting any traction on YouTube these days.
It certainly is. Taz Blitz, damn, I just lost the keys to my lemons. Well, rest in peace, your lemons, Tricon32. It's going to be a costly mistake once those lemons go to the moon. Thank you guys. Great show as usual. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Yes, same to the entire Cracking Crypto community. Thank you to everybody in the audience. Binance fraud. Stop losing your money, says Jason and Jack. I am truly grateful. Well, it's... And Tazblitz says, thanks, guys. All right, well, thank you all. Much love to our loyal audience. This is where we have to, we got to go. We're going to dip here. It's been a great Wednesday with everyone. I'm sure, Bitcoin's price action, the crypto markets have a lot of people probably feeling pretty exhausted. Hopefully, you were on the right side of this market when everything came tumbling down and didn't panic into the wrong position at somewhere close to the bottoms. Of course, if you want to step up your game, if you want to be more of a profitable, more of a winning trader that doesn't get overwhelmed with every market move and get caught offside all too frequently, you can learn a lot of premium lessons over at premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Let's put that up on the screen right now. Yes, premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com, where you can go to learn so much of our education material, strategy building, the Pathways to Profits course, our proprietary indicators suite, along with tutorials on how to use them, signals, analysis, and great community. So much more, all available to you at premium.crackingcryptocurrency.com. If you're a new user, please do follow and subscribe. And finally, do check out the Discord as well, the home of Discord crypto traders, I guess. This is the place for you. Discord.crackingcryptocurrency.com. Join a great community of aspiring and professional traders as well. All right, guys, pretty much approaching 3 o'clock, another 2-hour show logged. Thank you again, Jason. Shout outs to Alex if he's still here in the background. This is where we hit the exit finally. Peace out, y'all.
Yep.
Okay, goodbye.
All right, peace out. Look who's back. Look who's back. Yep, GG, guys. Tomorrow it is.
Goodbye.